meant that I would often have to skip meals. Even just going to Coles or Woolies, I'd be like, okay, we've got $20. How do we make $20 stretch for meals or lunches for a week? Or how do we get as much rice or as much chickpeas in here and still try and not be malnourished, which is crazy to think about since we're in a first world country that people are trying to figure out how they can afford to not be malnourished. Yeah, the constant stress of not having any money puts such a weight on you, and having to live in moldy, unstable housing. It wears on your mental health so much. Expenses were barely covered. It meant things like I couldn't go out to social events. It meant I couldn't afford to take a day off work because even cramming in work and study and everything, you really can't afford to not be working. So I couldn't take days off work or to do assignments or to study. There's no way you can physically live on youth allowance, and so I did have to do a lot of paid work in my free time, which meant that I didn't have time to focus on studies in a way that a lot of my peers did. You can tell with my grades that I just, for most of university, was so stressed about how am I going to afford to eat? How am I going to get my assignment done when I can't take time off work? Even just how am I going to convince my boss to give me a day off for an exam? That it makes it really difficult to fully immerse yourself in studies. It made me feel quite isolated. You don't really want to talk about how you're struggling financially and how you can't come to drinks after class because you can't afford to buy one or to buy food. Raise the rate of youth allowance by $95 a week. It's not fair to be making students live every day so far below the poverty line, and it's negating the idea of tertiary education as social mobility. If students can't afford to stay in university, then students from low socioeconomic backgrounds or students who may not have the financial support they need from their family just can't get a degree. And a degree is so crucial in our society at the moment that it really isn't working.